What's going on, everybody? I am finally back with another video. And today, guys, we're doing something a little different. Today we are doing an NBA trade machine. The lack of videos, there's not been much NFL news. So I thought I would try something different. And by that I mean we're doing an NBA trade machine. Now, last time I did like an NBA video, I said the Lakers were winning a championship because we got Russell Westbrook. We're not going to talk about that, though. So, yeah, I have 5 NBA trades that I think could happen. And, yeah, let's get into the very first one. Now, this one's admittedly the less likely to happen. But I got Kevin Durant and Seth Curry, not Steph Curry, Seth, his brother, getting traded from Miami Heat in exchange for Kyle Lowry, Victor Oladipo, Tyler Hero, and 2 first-round picks. The reason why I got this trade going here is because for the Nets, obviously, they're going to have to go in rebuild mode. The Kevin Durant wants to trade. And while Kyle Lowry, although has shown significant regression, I think could still be a solid piece. But obviously, the 2 winners of the 3 main winners of the 2 first-round picks. Then you got Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero. Victor Oladipo, obviously, when healthy, is still a very solid player. Tyler Hero's coming off a 6th Man of the Year campaign, and he's young. And then obviously Kevin Durant is just an amazing player. And Seth Curry kind of got thrown in there to help the salary cap balance out, but even then, he's just an overall solid player. The biggest problem I have with this trade is, although, yeah, obviously the Brooklyn Nets will probably accept this trade in a heartbeat, the Miami Heat probably won't, because it's like they're a championship contender, right? And yes, Kevin Durant and Seth Curry would be nice, but you also got to look at it like they're giving up Kyle Lowry, who they kind of got for Jimmy Butler, so you kind of be taking that away. Victor Oladipo is inconsistent, but is an overall solid piece on a good team. And obviously Tyler Hero is a young up-and-coming player who's coming off a 6th Man of the Year campaign. So I don't know if that would really make sense for the Heat. But on the upside for the Heat, obviously they get Kevin Durant to pair up with Jimmy Butler. And then you got Seth Curry, who, if you want, could start somewhere in around who could actually take maybe Victor Oladipo's place and maybe even be an upgrade. But, yeah, I think out of all the trades here, this one's probably the least likely to happen. But anyway, we now move on to my second trade. This one is, well, it's a 50-50 chance because the Pacers may not be interested. The Lakers obviously are. In this trade, the Los Angeles Lakers would trade Russell Westbrook, Taylor Horton-Tucker, and 2 first-round picks. More specifically, they are 2027 and 2029 unprotected first-round picks to the Pacers in exchange for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Though obviously with the Lakers, they'll be getting rid of Russell Westbrook, which reportedly he doesn't want to be there. Taylor Horton-Tucker just has flat out not been that good since he had that electric kind of rookie campaign. And then Buddy Hield's a above-average, solid NBA player who can get you some buckets. He can pass the ball well. He's a solid rebounder. Is overall practically a little bit taller, but kind of better Russell Westbrook in a way, just less athletic. And then Miles Turner is just a solid all-around center who I am very shocked has not been traded yet. He's been in trading talks for like the last year and a half, or season and a half. He just hasn't gotten traded. And by the way, sorry if you hear a little bit of a fan in the background. Gets hot in my room. I'm a fan. I turned it down a bit, though. But anyway, and for the Pacers, you get 2 more first-round picks, and 2 Russell Westbrook in the White system, I think could still be a really good player. It's just he never really fit in the Lakers system, is what I saw. He's mainly the lead scorer, but LeBron James wanted to be the lead scorer. And then Anthony Davis, well, he's injured all the time. So he never really fit in the system, and Taylor Horton-Tucker maybe needs a fresh new start to be able to kind of get a career rejuvenate, I suppose. But and then obviously the 2 first-round picks. The reason I didn't specify the first-round picks in the last ones, I really don't know what kind of first-round picks the Miami Heat would be willing to give up. But yeah, that's my take on it. The point is that for the downside for the Lakers, I don't really think there's a downside. I mean, you get 2 solid contributors on a championship contending team. There is a downside for the Pacers where they have been kind of noted in saying we don't really want Russell Westbrook. And then obviously Taylor Horton-Tucker, although kind of a low-risk, high-reward type situation. There is still a little bit of a risk there, and along with Russell Westbrook, plus those 2 first-round picks, although unprotected, won't be till 2027 and 2029. Which at that point, I don't really know what you could maybe do with that. Maybe you could trade them, maybe keep them. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to move on to my third NBA trade here. And once again involves Russell Westbrook and Taylor Horton-Tucker. I will be back. I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be back. Alright, sorry guys, I am back. But yeah, the next one also includes Russell Westbrook and Taylor Horton-Tucker, because I just think if you trade Russell Westbrook, you're going to need to add Taylor Horton-Tucker in there. Maybe not need to, but sweeten the part a bit along with those 2 first-round picks, just because, in my opinion, you can't have a Russell Westbrook trade without adding a young player into that who could maybe have some potential. But yeah, this one's with the Brooklyn Nets, and I got the Lakers once again trading Russell Westbrook, Taylor Horton-Tucker in the 2027 and 2029 unprotected first to the Nets, and in exchange, the Nets will give up Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris. For the Lakers, one, you get Kyrie Irving, who's a LeBron's buddy and is overall really good, solid, very, very good player whenever he's in his right mind, not going crazy. And Joe Harris can be a solid contributor. He maybe come off the bench and give you some production, which is another thing they were lacking. For the Nets, you only deal with Russell Westbrook for a year, compared to Kyrie Irving, where although Russell Westbrook does have a larger contract, obviously you get 2 first-round picks, which you need, which even if they're late, like 2027, 2029, because I think this trade's more likely than the Pacers trade, because with the Pacers, it's kind of like it wouldn't really make much sense for us because we are in rebuild mode, but we already have some picks. These won't be till late. With the Nets, they'll take any picks they can get, so that would make sense. Once again, Taylor Horton-Tucker, low risk, high reward player. That's all the Nets really need. And yeah. The problem for the Nets is that they may not want Russell Westbrook, which I don't think no team really wants Russell Westbrook as of now, but they'll take him. And there's really no problem for the Lakers here. And I just think this trade may be the most likely out of all of them we've seen so far. But now we move on to a fourth trade machine here. And for our fourth trade machine, I got the Utah Jazz trading Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks, and the New York Knicks would give up Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, and 3 to 4 first-round picks. It would be 3 or 4. My thing here is that I think either way, R.J. Barrett has to be in this trade. He just has to be. Because one, I think Evan Fournier would probably need to be in this trade too, but he has a pretty bad contract. So the Utah Jazz, obviously they'll begin 3 to 4 first-round picks for him out of the New York Knicks here. Apparently they wanted 6 or 7, but if you trade R.J. Barrett, I think they'll be willing to take 3 or 4. And the problem for the obviously upside for the New York Knicks is that they get Donovan Mitchell, who is a top shooting guard in the league currently. The downside, though, is that not really Evan Fournier. You can trade him. They've actually been actively trying to trade him. But R.J. Barrett is a young, up-and-coming possible star. He finally had a breakout season. Plus 3 or 4 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. Maybe a little much, especially when you consider they're also trading R.J. Barrett. But then the Utah Jazz, the only problem really here is Evan Fournier's contract. But I think they could work around that. I like this trade for both teams. Like I said, it's high risk, high reward for the Knicks. For the Utah Jazz, though, they get a solid young player in R.J. Barrett to kind of be the Donovan Mitchell replacement. Then you got a bad contract in Evan Fournier, but you'll get 3 or 4 unprotected firsts to kind of ease the load there. So, yeah, for my 5th and final trade, it's a big one. It's a Kevin Durant trade once again, and I got Kevin Durant getting traded to the Toronto Raptors for Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, and 4 first-round picks. No, not 4, 5. 4 or 5. It'll be 4 or 5. The reason I got this trade here is because Fred VanVleet has been a solid player for years now. You'll get a solid contributor out of him. With OG Anunoby, he's been on the trade block for a little bit now. Because if you ain't going to pay him a bunch, then they're looking to trade him. And with Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers of all time, obviously. And yeah, the only problem for the Toronto Raptors is that Scotty Barnes may need to be involved in this, but I think there is a way they can maybe not trade Scotty Barnes and still get Kevin Durant. The Nets don't really have a problem with this. They'll get like 5 firsts for Kevin Durant. And then Fred VanVleet, once again, is a solid player who can play the point guard and shooting guard position. OG Anunoby has been a solid player who started to break out. The only problem with him is that you may have to pay him. But even then, it's kind of like, by then, you'll have solid young core to build around. Plus, you'll be getting like 5 first-round picks. So you'll kind of practically get all, or at least the majority of the picks that you traded and able to get, like, James Harden. And you would be able to get those back, I guess is what I'm saying. To build that unsuccessful young 3. And now you just completely blow it up. I can't talk today. And they would be able to get some picks, which would help them rebuild. Plus, OG Anunoby can definitely be a player along with Ben Simmons to build around whenever they inevitably will be forced to rebuild. But, yeah. And then, obviously, for the Raptors, yeah, it's a big haul for Kevin Durant, but it's Kevin Durant. And then you have Pascal Siakam, Kevin Durant, Scotty Barnes, which could be a very underrated big 3. But, yeah, possibly championship contending. But anyway, yeah, those are my 5 biggest trade machines that I came up with for some of the biggest players. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with some of them? Do you not agree with some of them? Do you agree with all of them? Do you disagree with all of them? Let me know in the comments below whenever I enable them again because YouTube keeps disabling them. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the new, turn on post notifications. Once again, I'll try to post more, but it is difficult. There's not much NFL news going on, and I kind of want to wait on some of the videos, but I do got some ideas. I just thought this would be a cool little idea to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, once again, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to new, turn on post notifications so you never miss a new video. And I will see you all in the next video, guys. I love y'all. Please stay safe. And yeah, bye, guys.